Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So today I'm going to talk about Coonology. And before I even get started, I have to shout out Pinhead's Blackson because he's the first person that I heard use that term Coonology. So shout out to Pinhead's Blackson. This video is really going to define the term coon. I'm going to provide 6 traits of a coon. Because what I've noticed is that people have been misusing the term coon and they have been overusing it. And because of that, the term has become diluted. It no longer carries the same kind of force that it used to carry. So let's talk about it. The term coon, when you go to the dictionary, it means, first of all, raccoon. That's the first definition. The second definition is a black person. And then the dictionary notes that it's used in an offensive way to describe black people. Now, back when that term was used more commonly than it is now, the term was mainly applied to minstrels. And a minstrel was someone who basically was used to degrade and demean black people by depicting black people in blackface with white lips and knotted hair and had them behaving like buffoons and idiots to make black people look stupid. And also, they would present these images not only in film and on stage, they would actually present cartoon images of the minstrel, and they would actually call those minstrels coons. These images perpetuated negative views about black people. These images promoted the idea that black people were somehow subhuman. So they were used to perpetuate stereotypes. And now today we use the term coon to describe those who are traitors in our community, who are sellouts in our community. And we also use it to describe people who engage in minstrel type of behavior. So let's talk about a coon. I'm going to break down the 6 traits of a coon. I took some notes, so I want to cite some of those notes. The first trait of a coon is that a coon promotes negative stereotypes of black people. So the coon doesn't have any problem making a complete fool out of himself and his people. He has no problem with that. So just like the coons used to dress up in blackface back in the day, today's modern day coons, they don't have any problem perpetuating negative stereotypes about black people. And one of the biggest examples that stand out is something that happened recently involving Jerry Rice. And I'm sure many people are familiar with the negative stereotype about black people eating chicken and watermelon. That's a stereotype that goes back to the days of blackface and all that kind of stuff. So you had this brother, Jerry Rice. He was advertising for Popeye's Chicken. This brother had a helmet with the Popeye's Chicken logo on it, and this helmet had a mouth guard. And in the very front of the mouth guard, there was a chicken wing attached to that helmet. Also, this brother had a giant biscuit, and he was holding it like it was a football. This brother was making a complete fool out of himself, and he was promoting these negative stereotypes about black people. Now, one of the biggest examples of people promoting negative stereotypes about black people would be something like World Star Hip Hop, where they constantly depict black people as idiots. They have black people fighting each other, acting like complete fools. So that's an example. And then if you look at modern day hip hop, the way it has had been distorted, where they present the buffoonish image of black men and women. They present black men with gold teeth in their mouth and pants sagging all the way down, where they exposing their complete behind in their underwear and acting like complete fools, promoting the image of the black man as a drug dealer, as a thug, as a hooligan, and the black woman as a ratchet, out of control, crazed woman, prone to fight and argue. So those are the stereotypical images that are presented, and the people that voluntarily take on those kind of roles, they are carrying on the traits of a coon. They are the modern manifestation of what it means to be a coon. A second trait of the coon is this: the coon loves, adores, and worships white people. They constantly celebrate and elevate white people over everything. So that's number two. Number three is this: coons defend and serve white people unconditionally, much like how a loyal dog serves his master. So if a white person does something to black people, that coon is there to defend that white person regardless of the circumstances. So if a police officer shoots and kills an unarmed black man or black woman, the coon is there to defend that police officer, to justify what that police officer did. Anytime a white person says, something racist about black people, uses racial slurs or something like that, the coon is there to defend that white person, there to justify what that white person said and did. So that's the third trait. The fourth trait is this: the coon loves to disparage his own people. He loves to attack his own people. He loves to talk about how black people are so dysfunctional. He loves to talk about how black people are stupid. He loves to insult black people by using racial slurs against his own people, calling them apes and monkeys, calling them shines and other derogatory terms. That's how the coon communicates his hatred for black people. And the coon is so wrapped up in his hatred towards his own people that he disassociates from his own people. So the coon describes black people as if he is not black, as if he is somehow outside of the black community and outside of the black identity. So the coon never misses an opportunity to attack victims of police brutality, for instance, to talk about how they deserve to get shot. The coon never misses an opportunity to bash black women. Never misses an opportunity. So the coon searches on the internet for any negative article about black people or black women in particular, and they highlight that article and they use that as an example to make all kinds of negative generalizations about black people. And in a way, this goes back to one of my earlier points about promoting stereotypes. Instead of actually promoting stereotypes by their own particular conduct, these coons promote stereotypes with their commentary about black people. So that's the fourth trait. The fifth trait is this: the coon often will serve voluntarily and eagerly as a snitch, as an agent, as an informant against his own people for a few dollars. So he has no problem snitching on his people, running to the slave master to report on his brothers and sisters. And a good example of this, a clear example of this, is what happened to Black Panther leader Fred Hampton. An informant in the Black Panther Party gave the floor plans to the FBI and the police, and they used those floor plans of Fred Hampton's house or his apartment to assassinate that brother while he was sleeping. So that's the fifth trait. And I'll conclude with the sixth trait. The sixth trait of the coon is the coon has no problem supporting policies that are detrimental to black people, whether we're talking about policies designed to end affirmative action, policies designed to scale back on voting rights, policies designed to perpetuate mass incarceration of black people, the coon loves to support those kind of policies. And the biggest example of a coon would be Justice Clarence Thomas. Another example would be, these other right-wing Republicans. And, just overall, a clear example of a coon would be that sheriff in Wisconsin, Sheriff David Clark. So tell me what y'all think. Are there any traits that I missed? If so, let me know in the comment section. So please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.